Allo damasi. Kanallinaaningaanniik Sara Olsvig mateqarpunga Inuit issittormiut siunnersuisoqatigifianni siulittaasuuvunga. As an indigenous people, Inuit have occupied the Arctic for millennia. We mostly live in the areas of the Arctic where there's no trees, on tundra, having developed highly specialized skills on surviving and thriving in the Arctic. We are about 180,000 in total across the Arctic, from Chukotka, Russia, Alaska, Canada, and Inuit Greenland, where I am from. The inhabitants in total is about 56,000, and about 90% of us are Inuit. Across our homelands, we are experiencing massive changes in our nature due to climate change. We are seeing how permafrost is melting, so our coastal areas are eroding by the sea eating it up. Infrastructure is changing due to thaw of permafrost. In Inuit Greenland, we are seeing how the sea ice is different. Some years it doesn't settle at the time it usually would do. So when that happens, there's families that live a more traditional life from hunting who do not have access to hunting. It was important for me to do that work. We know that more than half of the known deposits are on or near Indigenous peoples' lands. And we know that this huge pressure to transition away from fossil fuels by the use of critical minerals is going to also put pressure on Indigenous peoples. So we need to do this right. We need to do this with full implementation and respect for the rights of Indigenous peoples to be self-determining about their own lands and territories and resources. I'm very, very happy to see that the Permanent Forum has put Indigenous women's rights at top priority. It's unfortunately still so that Indigenous women, and especially Inuit women, are overrepresented in the statistics on violence against women. This is exactly the reason why it is so important that we continue focusing on the implementation of the rights of Indigenous women and girls based on the instruments we have, both the Convention on the Elimination of All Kinds of Discrimination Against Women, the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the very important General Recommendation number 39 on the rights of Indigenous women and girls. There is basically no negotiation that is not relevant for Indigenous peoples. We are affected by all decisions taken in this world, and it should be so that we naturally have a seat at the table, that our voices are heard, that our priorities are taken into account, and not least that our rights are upheld in developing new treaties and new agreements and new resolutions.